As you know, we have been studying the 9th Adhyay of the Gita, and today is the last shloka, number 34, almost like the Purna Ahuti of Gyan Yagna of Adhyay 9. Beautiful Adhyay. Bhagwan has given you so many techniques, so many sadhanas of reaching your highest goal. And after studying this 9th Adhyay, no one should have any excuse for not knowing how to reach their final goal. So let's move on now to the 34th shloka. Beautiful one. Let's read. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. Bhagwan tells Arjun, fix your mind on me. Be devoted to me. Worship me and make obeisance to me. Thus, linking yourself with me and entirely depending on me, you shall come to me. If you see this shloka, in English, the translation, the word me, mam, me, has come 7 times. So, who is this me that Bhagwan asks us to worship, that asks us to be devoted to? So, you can take it in 2 ways. For some, the me could mean Bhagwan Krishna himself or Bhagwan Vishnu, of whom Bhagwan Krishna is an avatar, or it can also mean your Ishtadev, whoever that may be. So be devoted to me, pay obeisance to me, worship me. But if you see it from the Advait point of view, which I am more inclined to see, I think the me refers to the real me within each and every one of us, the real me, the self, which is there present in every being. Bhagwan says, worship the self, be connected to the self. If you take it as the Ishtadev, then how to worship is very easy, common knowledge, puja, part, all those things you know how to do, or at least up to some point, you know how to do. But if you take the me to mean the self, the Atma, then the question comes, how do I worship the self? How do I pay obeisance to the self? How can I be devoted to the self? So, this shloka, if seen with the right perspective, can give us an idea of how to worship your own highest self. Method is basically the same, whether you are talking about Ishtadev or Atma. Method is basically the same, only the perspective will slightly change. So now let's go to the 4 different ways in which to worship the self. Let's take the first one. Let me tell you, the first one is the most difficult and the highest sadhana possible. And what is that? Man mana bhava. Fix your mind on me. If it is Ishtadev, easy. Fix your mind on your Ishtadev. If it is the Advait point of view of the self or Atma, then it involves the intellect. Now, in the beginning, when you are a newcomer to sadhana, you are still identifying with the body, you're still identifying with the BMI. And our entire being, BMI being, is engaged in satisfying the needs of the body, needs of the mind, needs of the intellect. Obviously, because you have identified with the BMI, then the BMI is going to be engaged totally in satisfying the needs, the taking care of the likes and dislikes of the BMI. So, what will be happening to the mind? The mind will always be fluctuating between experiences of sukh and experiences of dukh. When it is engaged in something it likes, it will feel sukhi. When it has to experience something that it doesn't like, it will be dukhi. Then there are also all these vasanas which will keep coming up. Now the mind will be engaged in running after the vishais to satisfy the vasanas. Sometimes the mind will be worried about the future. Sometimes the mind will be, ruminating and clinging to the past. So all this various activities of the mind will kind of make it fragmented, sometimes in vishais, sometimes in vasana, sometimes in sukh, sometimes in dukh. So obviously, this cannot be fix your mind on me, manmana bhava. So some sadhanas start, and with the sadhanas, one trains the mind through all the Shat Sampattis. One trains the mind to stop this fragmentation slowly, 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 one by one. All these different avenues for the mind become less, 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 till one can learn to fix the mind on the self. Man, mana, bhava. What does this entail? It means that the entire mind is absorbed in the self. This is what we call nididhyasan. For that, there has to be a firm conviction. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the intellect. Not just an intellectual understanding, a theoretical understanding. It has to be a nishtha. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the intellect. I am Atma. Even though you have not had the direct experience of that conviction. So, obviously, this is a highly advanced stage of sadhana where the mind is totally preoccupied in the divine self. There are no other goals that this sadhak wants to fulfill. There are no other desires left to be fulfilled. There is no distraction whatsoever from the goal. Single pointed, ekagrata in my goal, spiritual goal. This is difficult, undoubtedly difficult. This is probably, you can say, the final sadhana of the sadhak. You can say it's the PhD of sadhanas. So it's not possible for everyone at whatever stage of the journey, spiritual journey that they are on. Totally identifying with the self is not so easy. So Bhagavan gives us one easier step, one stepping stone towards this final stage of fix the mind in me. What is that little easier? Mad bhakto. If you can't do man mana bhava, do mad bhakto. What does that mean? Be devoted to me. Give your heart to me. You can't give your mind? Give your heart. Mad bhakto. See, the word bhakti comes in there. Bhakti means devotion, pure love, divine love. This obviously is easier because everyone knows how to love, right? However, again, slight tweak to the kind of love we are normally used to. What does the normal love we are used to? We are used to loving our family. We love our dear ones, our near ones, our best friends, they all are, we love them. We love our children, we love our spouse, and we love them only till they make us feel good. The love lasts till they make us feel good, till they are not in contradiction to our wishes or our desires. This is called unconditional love. So we cannot count this as bhakti, we cannot count this as devotion. Okay, we know how to love, but it is conditional love, and this is not mad bhakto. Now you go to satsang, you get introduced to the divine power through the satsangs, and one process of purification starts. And by being in satsang, hopefully and mostly, one expands this love that we have for our near and dear ones. That love expands to love for God. Earlier, we loved God out of fear. Now the love is expanding. The fear of God transforms into love for God. But here also, one needs to examine, why do we love God? Maybe because we want our prayers to get answered. Maybe because we want some things from God. That's why we pray, and that's why we say, we love you, God, please give me X, Y, and Z. And God gives very often. But when our prayers don't get answered, when something really bad happens to us, unfortunately, for some, that love gets abandoned. We foolishly abandon love for God. We blame God that you did not do this. I loved you, I did so much, and yet you didn't give me. So, this love for God also, if one examines, this is also conditional love. We love God till God does things for us, rewards us, not punishes us. What is real bhakti then? Real bhakti is what the true bhakt starts developing in his heart, and it is unconditional. It is not conditional on getting anything back from Bhagwan. No reward, nothing. No prayer also asked from God, give me this, give me that. Even though all the things you are asking for are highly sattvic. I want goodness for my family. I want health. I want this. I want lok sangraha. All this also is an asking. But true bhakti is just outpouring of love, unexplainable fullness of the heart and love. You don't even recognize for what you are loving. Love fills the heart. Here, no head is involved, no mind, no intellect, only heart. No logic is needed also. Why do I love? What is this I'm feeling? You're not analyzing it also. It's not even you are thinking, I should love God, therefore my intellect tells me I should. Here there is no deliberate thinking also. Shreya, it is Shreya to love God, not Priya. None of this work up here in the head. Pure love for the divine, Mad Bhakto, no strings attached. Is it possible to love like this? What will enable one to have this pure, unconditional devotion towards God? For unconditional love to develop, you need unconditional faith. You need Shraddha. No doubts, no confusions, unconditional faith. What? The laws of the universe are there and they are guided by the Supreme Being. Finished. They are established by Ishwar, and this is, I believe it. I have faith in it. Unconditional faith in the scriptures, in the Shastras. Not this part of the Shastras I like and this part of the Shastras I don't like. It's not possible. Your judgment in a Shastra, you're comparing the value of your buddhi to the value of the Shastras. This is not called Shraddha. And the faith that if I allow the Supreme Being, If I allow the Shastras to guide my actions, I have nishtha, I have faith, I have shraddha, I will be led to the supreme goal of life. This kind of unconditional shraddha, faith, will allow you to develop unconditional love, bhakti. And that unconditional love will help you to fix your mind on the Supreme Self. Now, how can I get this unconditional love? How does it get expressed in my day to day life? How can I develop it? What is the methodology? And see, Gita is such a superb, too, it's a very tuch word. It's an all encompassing Shastra which helps bhakts at every level to go on adding and improving and growing in their sadhana and in their journey. In Siva, we also provide space for bhakts of all levels. Wherever you may be in your journey, there is a way to develop this unconditional love. So there are 9 ways of expressing bhakti. Let's go through them. First one is called Shravanam. Shravanam means hearing about Bhagwan, hearing about his leelas, hearing about his glories, hearing his updesh, hearing what he has to say. And by doing that in satsang, that stronghold, that grip that sansar has on us, that grip slowly weakens a bit by bit. So in Siva, all our Sunday Gita satsangs, they help us by giving us the opportunity for Shravanam. Our Thursday classes on Zoom also is an opportunity for Shravanam. This is a passive activity. You only are listening. Then comes Kirtanam. Kirtanam is more actively engaging. Kirtanam is singing the glories of Bhagwan, singing the glories of the scriptures. Basically, in Kirtanam, whatever you have learned theoretically and heard in Shravanam, you sing it in Kirtanam. The heart becomes sattvic, the heart opens up. So our Friday Bhakti sessions, they are an opportunity for Kirtanam. Then comes third one, Smaranam. In Smaranam, you remember Bhagwan. So first you just listen passively, then you actively sing. Now you go inside. It's an internalizing of your bhakti. You do japa. You remember the name of Bhagwan. And the mind slowly becomes introverted. That's the benefit of smaranam. And this happens with your daily jap of your guru mantra, of any mantra that you are doing japa of. Then comes Pada Sevanam. Pada Sevanam is a beautiful expression of bhakti where you are serving maybe the sick, doing seva of the vigraha in the temple, maybe serving humanity, doing some seva work, all with the bhav of serving Bhagwan. Not just doing seva and feeling very proud of it. You are serving Bhagwan. And when you start seeing that you are serving Bhagwan with all this work, community work, or whatever social service, whatever you want to call it, seva, then you are doing Pada Sevanam. The beauty is humility starts developing. You see how you are getting softer and softer, and see something very hard cannot merge with anything. Some softening has to happen, some gradual dissolving has to happen. So with Pada Sevanam, the humility comes in. Then you have 5 and 6. I will take them together. 5 is Archanam. Archanam means worship of the Vigraha, puja. And It could also be Manas Puja, okay? Not just of Vigraha, it could also be Manas Puja, Archanam. And then you have Vandanam, prayer, prostration, all these two can go together. So, what happens when you start praying and bowing down and worshipping either the Vigraha or in Manas Puja? The ahankar starts dissolving. Beautiful. When it starts dissolving, devotion starts increasing. And with that, Samarpan Bhav gets born. Samarpan Bhav, an integral part of bhakti. So, this opportunity is given when we do Upasana on Mondays in Siva. Then comes Sakhyam, Sakhyam Bhav. Here, that is number 8. Here you are connecting with God as a friend, loving Him as your best friend. And we say a friend in need is a friend indeed. So when you connect with Bhagwan as a friend, Sakhya Bhav, then you forget your own needs and you start fulfilling the desire of God. You fulfill the will of God. You live for God. Sakhyam Bhav. And what happens is one intimate connection happens with either your Ishtadev or an intimate connection with your own Atma. And how can we say that this will develop Sakhyam Bhav? When you can see divinity, when you can see that divine presence in your Guru Bahan, in your Guru Bhai, in the satsangis that you meet every week, when you can see that divine essence in them, when you can be their Sakhya, when you have developed that Sakhyam Bhav for your close knit Guru Bhai, Guru Ben, and Satsangis, then know that you are benefiting by having a close connection in Sakhya Bhav. Then comes, before that, 7 was Dasyam. I missed that. 7 is Dasyam. Then comes Sakhyam. In Dasyam Bhav, you are serving God as his sevak. You are doing whatever a das would do. You are the slave, which is a bad word, but you are the das. You are the sevak of Bhagwan. Whatever needs to be done, if you have to sweep the temple, you have to clean the vessels, you have to, whatever needs to be done to the worship, for the worship of Bhagwan, you do as his das. Like you would say, in Shiva, Nandi would be the das of Shiva, attending to his every need, attending to whatever is required, being in attendance of Bhagwan. See, Nandi, his eyes are always fixed on the Shivling. In that way, eyes always fixed on Bhagwan. Whatever Bhagwan needs, I am ready there to fulfill that need. Dasyam Bhav. So, with that, you get an opportunity for Samarpan. And in Siva, all those who offer their seva for the running of Siva, they are all doing and hopefully doing in Dasyam Bhav. So after Dasyam comes Sakhyam, which I already told, and then the 9th one comes Atma Nivedan. Atma Nivedan, full surrender. Surrender of tan, man, vachan, dhan also. All that surrendered to Bhagwan means your body is now to be used to connect with Atma. Man, your mind is going to be used only to connect with Atma. Your vachan, your words, whatever you speak, all your organs of action connected towards, integrated towards connecting with Bhagwan. Your money also you are spending only for this purpose of reaching your goal. No personal limited I. The BMI is put aside, even though it is theoretical still. This results in total purification of Antakaran. And with total purification of Antakaran, with these 9 steps of bhakti, you can connect with your highest self, which is called para bhakti. For this, again, very difficult. Very difficult. I agree. And it will happen when you can surrender unconditionally to the Shastras. You cannot use your limited buddhi to say this part of the Shastras I don't agree with, or this part of the Shastras is uncomfortable for me, or this part of the Shastras I don't resonate with. Okay, it's fine. You don't resonate, it's okay, but therefore you cannot reach this stage through bhakti. This Madhyaji, Mam, Namaskuru will not happen still. So, we have to learn to totally surrender to the Shastras. So the first one was Manmana. Sadhana was to purify the intellect. Too difficult? Okay, let's go to Mad Bhakto, purify the heart. But there also you need a total surrender. That is also difficult. Now what to do? Bhagwan says, don't worry, Arjun, don't worry. There's a third option also. And what is that third option? Madhyaji. Worship me through your actions. You can't give your mind to me? Okay. Can't give your heart to me? Okay. Give your actions to me. Okay. Mad, me. Madhyaji. Yaji comes from yagna, action. Here also you can take it in 2 different ways. Yagna can mean that you worship me by all in your yagnas, in your homa, in your havan, whatever anushtan you do, puja you do, your sacrifices, your rites, all that when you perform, let Bhagwan be the supreme goal. Madhyaji. Give your actions, your anushtans, your puja, your havans, make them all for me. Let it be for the common good of all, and through that, you let that goal be Bhagwan. Don't have any personal goal when you do your Havan, Homa, Anushtan. No expectation of any personal gain. That is one way of saying Madhyaji, worship me through your actions, through your homas. Again, if you see the Advait way, we know through Vedanta that the Supreme Being pervades each and every being. You know also that the Atma is no different from Paramatma. So, and this Atma is not my Atma and your Atma. It's one Atma only. It's pervading everything, everywhere, everyone. So, whenever you are interacting with anyone, whenever you're doing an action along with anyone else, you are doing it either for the Naam Roop of that person, or you're doing it for the Astibhati Priya of that person. So, for whom are you doing that action? So, if you do that action, your interaction with everyone, every action, if you do it recognizing the divine essence of that person, within that person, recognizing that person is really the divinity incarnate, then every action of yours becomes a yagna. Every action of yours is a worship of that divinity. Every action is a worship of that self within each one of us. So, when we do an action that way in Karma Yog Bhav, then Then that understanding Madhyaji, worship me, give your every action to me, to the self becomes possible. Give your actions to me, to the self. Then you don't need to go to any temple to do any anushtan. You don't need to go to any dham to do a yagna. Your every action is a yagna to that divine self within each and every one of us. Okay. So we had man mana bhava, fix your mind on me, purifying the mind. Difficult. Madhyaji, Mad Bhakto, give your heart to me. Requires purification of the heart. Not possible. Madhyaji, give your actions to me. Do every action as a worship of me. Easier. From more difficult, it's going to easier. So, as a sadhak, what do you have to do? Start with the easier. So, start with karma yoga in all the actions that you do. When that becomes possible, then apply karma yoga in your upasana. Heart becomes pure. Then only you can think of fixing your mind on the self with nididhyasan. So we came from the most difficult to the less difficult to the easier one. But for some, doing this also may be difficult. How to do now? Do all this, every action I have to see the supreme in the other person. I have to see supreme in myself, supreme in the other. It's very difficult. Okay, Bhagwan says, don't worry. Fourth option is also there. Mam namaskuru. Just bow down to me. That's all I'm asking. Just bow down to me. Offer your humble obeisance to me, Bhagwan says. How to do this? How to do Mam namaskuru? Go in front of Bhagwan. You have a temple in your house. At least have a temple in your house. Go in front of God. Do the gesture of namaskar. Namaskar. Bow down your head like this. Join your hands. This is the least you can do. Some people are so busy they can't do this much also. There's so tight schedules they have. They get dressed. They rush to office. They rush to school. This much time also they don't have. See that significance of namaskar. In namaskar, firstly, you know this action. Hands are joined. Now, with these hands, what do? You do actions. So, these hands symbolize all actions done in Karma Yoga Bhav. So, when you join these hands together, you will be reminded, or at least you will start getting prepared eventually for surrender your actions to me. Madhyaji. Mam Namaskuru will help you for preparing for Madhyaji. So hands, then see the level where you put your hands. Some people put here, there, everywhere. This is the place for the hands. Which place? Near your heart. So your hands are joined, your actions, the symbolizing actions surrendered to Bhagwan in Karma Yoga Bhav near the heart. Surrender your heart to me. In your upasana, surrender your heart to me. In your actions outside and in your actions in upasana, surrender your heart to me. That again teaches you to surrender in bhakti. And then it's not enough to do namaskar like this. This is the way to do namaskar. Bow down your head. Head, oh, intellect. Oh, Gyan. Okay, head now symbolizes Gyan Yoga. So the hand symbolizes Karma Yoga, the heart symbolizes Bhakti Yoga, the head symbolizes Gyan Yoga. Now, through this simple gesture of Namaskar, you have surrendered your hands, your heart, and your head, your intellect to the self within. Right Bhava accompanies namaskar. It symbolizes total surrender to Bhagwan, Ishtadev, or total surrender to Atma. All levels. Remember, we had studied Sarva Bhavena in all different ways. So I want to name this sadhana Triple H. Triple H sadhana. Hands in all your actions, heart in all your bhava, head in all your thinking. Integrate all this namaskara. Kar, to do, nama, to bow. And this doing of this bowing gesture will allow, in the right bhava, will allow you to totally surrender. Fix your mind on me, be devoted to me, give your every action to me, bow down to me. So, namaskar will lead to devoting the action. Action will lead to devoting the heart. Heart will lead to fixing the mind. Fixing the mind is the highest sadhana, PhD of sadhanas, Nidhi Dhyasan. From there, leap into a paroksh anubhuti. That's what Bhagwan tells us in the last few words. Ma me vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam mat parayanaha. Thus, linking yourself with me and entirely depending on me, you shall come to me. Guarantee Bhagwan's words, not Ma's words, Bhagwan's words. Ma me vaishyasi, you shall come to me. Guarantee. You shall come to me. Where to come? There is nowhere to come and there is nowhere to go. You are that. That's all. You have to recognize that. For that, you need unconditional faith in the Shastras that will develop unconditional love. When all doubts get removed, all confusion gets removed, mind gets established in the self. Fix your mind on me. Curtain of ignorance opens up. You experience the self which radiates from within. No come to me or go to me. You don't have to go to any other loka. Right here, right now, in this body itself, Jivan Mukti. And for that, what we have to do? Yuktvaivam Atmanam Mat Parayanaha. Yuktvaivam Atmanaha. When the mind is totally united with the self. Yukta, united, joined, merged. When will the mind get united? When it loses its separate identity. When the ahankar is destroyed. When the separateness is destroyed, like the river merges into the ocean, its separateness gets annihilated. So you have to be yukta with the self. Cannot have separateness. And all that already we have talked about it in the 4 steps. Mat parayana. This is important. Mat parayana means you have left only one goal in life. That's it, the supreme goal. This merging cannot happen till all other goals are put aside. When you accept this as the one and only goal left for you to fulfill, this is not a pastime, neither is it a hobby, nor is it an entertainment, nor is it a weekend activity. Bhagwan or Atma is your one and only refuge. This is your resting place. This is where you need to go in this lifetime. Not a last resort. not depending on any other B, M, or I of yourself or others. Bhagavan says categorically in this last shlok, unite your mind with the self and know that there is no other goal in life worth pursuing. Then you will come to me. Of that, there is no doubt. No doubt. And that is the treasure, the Raja Vidya, the Raja Guhyam of Adhyay 9 of the Gita, which then ends with the Sankalp Vakya, Om Tat Saditi Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Supanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Yogo Nama Navamo Dhyayaha. Bhagwan calls the Gita an Upanishad. Like the Vedas, it is transmitted from the mouth of Bhagwan himself. And it gives you Brahma Vidya, the science of reaching Brahma, theory. But along with the theory, it gives you Yoga Shastre. It gives you the practical method to implement the theory, the methodology. And that is called Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, sovereign science and sovereign secret to liberate you from endless cycles of birth and death. So now you know the secret, you know the method, you know everything. Now use it. That's all. Thank you for attending with me in this yagna of Adhyay 9. God bless. Om. 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 Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Chidarpanam. Jai Gurudev. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. God bless you all. Thank you, Sampada, for chanting. Thank you, Zoom
Thank you,
team.
Ma.
God bless you all.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you, Sampada. Pranam,
Ma.
Ma. Good night, all.
Thank you, Sampath.
Thank you, Dai.
God bless.
Thank
God
you,
bless.
Sampath.
Thank you, Sampath.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma.
God bless. God bless, Sanvi.
Hari Om, Ma.
Hari Om. God bless.